Board of Commissioners to order virtually, and we'll take it from there. First item on the agenda today is to approve the May summer, hang on, let me back up. How about if we start off with approving the agenda?
Move the agenda, Mr. Chair.
A motion by Commissioner Sobel to approve the agenda.
Second by Scoy.
And I've got a second by Commissioner Scoy. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask for the vote. Start with Commissioner Pamphlet.
Kevin, we just had a he won't be back for a couple minutes, okay? You got a quorum, I guess, anyway.
Okay. Commissioner McBride.
Aye.
Commissioner Sobel.
Aye.
Commissioner Scoy.
Aye.
And I'm an aye. COVID update. Kathy. Yeah.
Good morning. The numbers that I have for you today are the numbers from yesterday. The total positive cases in Minnesota are 28,224 with 338 new cases and 11 new deaths. The number of tests conducted are 354,226. Total deaths are 1,197. Right now, there's 452 people hospitalized with 198 in ICU, and still 9 cases for Koochiching County. The numbers of new cases and deaths and people being hospitalized has not increased as much over the last couple of days as it has been, so hopefully that is the trend that's going to continue, and we're going to see those curves heading down for the future anyways. Does anybody have any questions?
Kathy, this is Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
The turmoil and everything that was going on in the cities the last couple of weeks, that doesn't appear to have made too much of a difference.
Not yet. If it's going to make a difference, it'll probably be, within the next week or 2 weeks.
Yeah. Okay.
They are encouraging everyone who has participated in a large group like that to get themselves tested.
Yeah.
Commissioner Ady.
Yes.
Kathy, in something like that now, is the state paying for the testing? Is testing still free if you have any kind of symptoms or anything like that?
Yes. Yes, it should be. All health plans, too, are providing that free of charge to their insured, too. And we do currently now have a drive-up testing here at Rainy Lake Medical Center as well. And that operates from 12 to 3, I believe Monday through Friday.
Any other questions, Kathy? All right. Thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome.
Approved minutes, June 2nd, 2020.
Move, Mr. Chair.
Got a motion by Commissioner McBride. And second?
Second, Mr. Chair.
Was that Sobel?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. Commissioner Pavlik.
Aye.
Commissioner McBride.
Aye.
Commissioner Sobel.
Aye.
Mr. Scoy.
Aye.
And I am an aye.
would just ask that, if your department heads or Jen to chime in and a little bit how we're going to do this.
Yeah, good point.
If I may, I have the following departments that are going to be open to the courthouse or to the public by appointment: the assessor's office, environmental services, the county recorder, lands and forestry, the auditor treasurer's office, county administration, and the sheriff's office, and as well as information systems. I will be posting, putting out a press release today to the journal and to the radio stations about what departments, the phone numbers to contact to make appointments, and the services that are provided. I've reached out to all of the department directors, and they've provided me with that information. Do you have any other questions?
Yes, Jen, Mr. I have a question. Jen, are the doors going to be secured or the doors going to be open?
The doors will be secured with that notice so that people can call there's a couple different methods that we can use. Jackie is looking at some software. If we have a large need for appointments, we don't have a motor vehicle office in our courthouse, so I think most of the departments will just be able to handle those appointments and coordinate for those folks when they need to come in. They'll be met at the auditor treasurer's office and escorted into the courthouse.
Is there any department heads that would like to chime in? Okay, so
Mr. Chairman.
So we opened up for appointments, and it's actually been pretty slow and very manageable. So, we haven't by any means been overwhelmed with people, clamoring to get in the door, but it's been slow as far, so it's kind of a slow opening, and so I guess I would anticipate it might be likewise there too. So, anyways, we're doing well with it. That's about it.
okay, thank you, Mark. Any other department heads that would like to say something? Okay, I guess that's it.
Kevin, this is Matt Glenn.
Okay, hi Matt.
Just wanted to mention, so in environmental services, we're taking those appointments, and we have been doing that, meeting people outside the courthouse as through this whole process. But now we'll obviously take them inside. But as far as the transfer station is going, we're working on some infrastructure out there. So at this point, we've been open, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, since the beginning, and, handling the public through that process, trying to limit the contact. But guys out there have done a great job trying to manage that, even though we have, probably anywhere from 70 to 150 customers, a day at that time. So they've done a good job. I'm meeting with ODC this week on Thursday to try to set up a schedule for them to start up again. I've talked to Keith at Sense to Serve. He's got some infrastructure things that have to be resolved before he could bring in crews. But he is working and doing a lot of work for us personally without crews. I mean, it's helpful to have crews, and certainly ODC and Sense to Serve crews will help, but we don't have them in place yet. But I hope ODC will be online maybe next week. We'll see after I have that meeting with the crew leaders and the group there. So at this point, we're still at Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, 9 to noon, and I guess we'll review that as we move forward.
Your 150 that you have right now, Matt, how much does that differ from on a normal day when we do get back to normality?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I don't, the volume is the same. I mean, we're still handling the same number of customers. decreased, we've changed the process, of course. We now have a person at the gate scaling the loads, handling the payment. And, part of the infrastructure that we're looking at is trying to get them obviously not standing outside and to have better separation at that location. Right now, that person doing that work is not able to maintain the social distance. So we're working on some solutions for that, and that'll be looked at here in the very near future. So, and so part of that answer to your question also is that the same number of people within a shorter time frame, but because we're controlling it at the gate, it allows for better separation and better control and more efficient throughput at the transfer station inside. So the operators inside are not, also having close contact with them. We're controlling that. So we only have one person at the gate that would have that contact. And then the rest of the guys can maintain the social distance.
You have a question, Brian?
Yeah, I bumped my thing here, but yes, as of, I guess we'd call this a soft opening, but I believe next Tuesday, because of the need for Board of Equalization, I think we will be meeting. Jen, did we not talk about possibly third floor conference room, and county board will meet in person starting next Tuesday?
Mr. Chair, if I may, yes, Commissioner McBride, we will be meeting in the third floor courtroom for the Board of Equalization, and courts are still on schedule to open up on the 15th. We'll sort of have that soft opening on the 15th and officially open to the public next Tuesday if the board chooses to approve that.
Do we have any appointments right now for next week that you know of?
Not that I know of.
Okay. All right. Any other department heads like to say anything? Okay. I'll call for the vote.
Mr. Chair, I just have one question for Matt before I lose him, if I could. Matt, Dennis Martin up there, were you able to get that resolved or find out, is there a broken line up there? I'm not aware of that, Wade, but we have been working on some things at his place as part of the project. And so we are working on that, and but I'll double check with him and I'll get back to you also if there's something more that I'm missing. Okay, yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. I'll call for the vote. Savlet?
Aye.
McBride?
Aye.
Sobel?
Aye.
Roy?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. The opening of the highway department to the public.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Again.
Basically, the highway department would like to open up business as usual. Currently, all our shops, with this kind of weather we've gotten, the shop doors are open. So people can just wander through the garage doors if they want. So it makes no sense keeping the access doors closed. And the courthouse, in the offices we have here by the courthouse, we don't get that many customers. We get probably 4 a week. So we just like to open things up, and we're sort of separate from the courthouse, being this own little building over here. So we just like to, and that would include the surveyor's office downstairs.
Move. Okay, I've got a motion by Commissioner Pavlik. Second by Roy. Second by Commissioner McBride. Any discussion?
Just thank you.
Yep. All right.
I will move on A and B, the vendor agreement listing and the May payroll payments, and also D and E. So A, B, E, and E.
Okay, I've got a motion by Commissioner Sobel to pay the bills.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Skoye. Thank you, Wayne. Any discussion? None, I'll call for a vote. Family.
Aye.
Brian.
Aye.
Sobel.
Aye.
Skoye.
Aye.
And I'm an aye. Board warrant.
One warrant. McBride.
Thank you, Brian. I've got a motion by Mr. McBride.
Second, Mr. Chair.
Second by Commissioner Sobel. Discussion.
Which one did you act on?
What's that, Wayne?
Which one are we acting on?
The warrant.
Oh, the warrant. Oh, gotcha. You want something? Let's go outside. Any
other discussion? Okay. Call for the vote. Stavely?
Aye.
McBride?
Aye.
Sobel?
Aye.
Skoye?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. Consider request to delay 2019 CDEC coal box loan payment. Excuse me.
Move, Mr. Chair.
And a motion by Commissioner Sobel.
Second, Mr. Chair, and if it falls online, I'd like to have him explain.
Yep.
Certainly. Good morning, Mr. Chair. Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, just by way of a brief history, and we're trying to be proactive on this. In 2017 or 16, we were approached by Jaguar Land Rover to build a second coal box here at the airport. We entered into applied for a deed grant as part of that $550,000 project, and we were awarded that. The local match came from the city and county, $185,000 each. So starting in 2017, we started the repayment at 2% over a 5-year period. At the end of 2019, it was due. At that point, we were hit by several things. One, overrun on some construction projects here at the airport around cold weather, and then the repayment terms from a couple of our vendors provided us with just a really tight cash flow. So we asked for a extension into May. What happened is during this pandemic, we lost 3 test trips, as well as the Jaguar Land Rover season got shortened, which again hindered our ability to put a significant crimp in our cash flow. And looking forward, my concern is that if we have a resurge of the coronavirus, that the test season for 2019-2020, this coming test season, might not come about. We're still waiting to see where it's going to come out. And 2/3 of our operating budget does come from cold weather testing activities, and even the IRRB monies, which are based on a formula for production. If the taconite production is down, it's going to ultimately affect us as well, and that provides about 1/3. So there's a lot of uncertainty right now. We are able to operate, and we've cut our expenses. We're not doing any projects. We're just holding the line. Because of this uncertainty, though, we're just concerned that if we do make a payment, that it will put us in operationally. We will not have funds to get through the year. So we're working on some budget scenarios, and we'd like to continue to work with Jenny and maybe a committee there just to give them updates on where we're at in the process. But we really won't have a good handle until September, early October, based on the amount of test groups we're able to schedule for the coming season. So with that, I would just ask both the city and county to work with us. Obviously we want to get this paid off and continue to move forward, but there's just so much uncertainty. It's really hard to budget at this point.
Paul, this is Commissioner Ady. Is there any money that's available to FEMA on this since it's unexpected?
We did look at some of the funding sources, and we were not eligible based on what we were finding, but we did do some research, and if there's anything out there that we're not aware of, we'd certainly be open to it, but at this point in time, we couldn't find anything that would fit.
Okay. Thank you, Paul. Anybody else have any questions for Paul?
Mr. Chair, I'll have one question after the vote.
Okay. Go ahead and take the vote then. Pavlik.
Aye.
McBride.
Aye.
Sobel.
Aye.
Goy.
Aye.
And I'm an aye. All right, Brian.
Paul, hopefully I'm not out of line on this, but, after everything that's happened to Twin Cities, and you see that there was a fairly large manufacturer in the Twin Cities yesterday said that he's going to rebuild, but he's not going to rebuild in the Minneapolis area. Are these areas something that we could start looking at, people looking to rebuild, and, maybe there's some opportunities for northern Minnesota?
Commissioner McBride, that's a great, I read the same thing, and that's a great notion because not only we're using that partly as our year ticket home to try to attract people back, but if there's uncertainty and instability in those areas, and we can provide a climate environment up here that's secure, I think you're going to see a lot of that moving to rural areas, and I think there's already some of that discussion occurring. So I think it's an opportunity, as unfortunate as that is, but it's the reality that we live in. So I think it's certainly something that we put as part of our sales pitch to both individuals and businesses, that this is a safe and good place to do business.
Thank you.
Any other questions from anyone? All right.
Thank you.
Paul. Thank you, Paul. Human resource business. That's no?
This is.
Okay, all right.
Yep, I just have some policy updates. The first one is the pre-employment background check. We didn't have much in terms of background check policy, so but we did update it to reflect what positions are required. So we have it for administrative staff, department directors, positions that may have to handle public funds, highway personnel, law enforcement and information systems. Of course, they have to submit to a BCA check and fingerprints, and that's with their security. And then child protection workers, they are required to submit to a background check under Net Study 2.0, and that is per Minnesota Department of Health and Human Service requirements. Otherwise, it's just going to kind of explain what the purpose of the check is, what, could be decided based off of the background check findings, how we will be retaining these records, and who is privy to this information, which that is, of course, just limited to, myself, administration director, the department director, and or maybe the county attorney. So before we move, did anyone have any questions on the background check policy?
No, Kevin.
Yes.
A lot of that was already there. Am I correct on that?
Yes. A lot of it was just updating it to reflect my position, since it is a new position that wasn't included in a lot of these policies, as well as just kind of more defining what category had to do what kind of background check.
Okay.
Well, when you're snooping around, let us know what you find out about Commissioner Ady's background.
I can't do that. Wait. I'm not able to do that.
You've been with me 18 years. If you don't know it all by now,
Right. Any other questions on the background check policy?
I would move, Mr. Sheriff, to approve modify the pre-employment background check.
Okay, we've got a motion by Commissioner McBride.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Fabry. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. Fabry.
Aye.
McBride.
Aye.
Sobel.
Aye.
Goy.
Aye.
And I'm an aye.
Thank you.
And now to approve revised pre-employment physical policy.
Yes, that's correct. So similar changes made to this policy. We just wanted to clean it up, get it a little more consistent with what our other personnel policies are reflecting. I also created a little form, an assessment form that the individual can use to notify us of what the outcome of the physical is. It's just a little bit cleaner. But we did include information in there. So in the event that there is an individual that goes for their pre-employment physical and say whatever is determined that the person conducting the physical just did not feel it was granted to sign them off to do the job. So we did include information that if that were to occur, they would need to follow up with their primary care provider for further evaluation. Okay, because the reason for that is we don't want to put it on the responsibility of a provider that does not have any medical history with this patient to determine if they are able or unable to do that job outside of your basic screening. And then that would be determined with the primary care provider. And then, of course, we just defined what positions would be required to submit to a pre-employment physical. So you're looking at those positions that have, more laborious duties, such as your appraiser and assessors, law enforcement, highway personnel, transport station operators, people that are going to be performing more of those duties. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Wishes of the board.
Yeah, I'm in.
Who is that?
Wait.
Okay, thank you, Wade.
Second, Mr. Chair.
And I've got a second by Commissioner Sobel.
I got a question, Mr. Chair.
Yep, go ahead.
When these physicals are performed, is it a county appointed physician or required physician that does it, or can it be your primary caregiver?
For consistency purposes, we do ask them to go to, I can't think of what his office is called, but Dr. Potter's office. He's primarily the one that does the physicals for the county. However, of course, if there's ever any type of conflict, we can work around that as well. I think Jenny and I have discussed, doing an RFP for providers as well, because I don't think that's been done for quite some time. But currently, yes, we are instructing individuals to go and make an appointment with Dr. Potter's office.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Val.
Thank you.
I've already got the motion, right?
Yes.
Mr. Chair, yes, I've got a motion by Pavlik, a second by Shoblin.
Okay, thank you. If there's no other discussion, I'll call for the vote. Pavlik.
Aye.
McBride.
Aye.
Sobel.
Aye.
Goy.
Aye.
And I'm an aye. And with that, we're right at 10 o'clock. I was going to call for a recess, but we'll go right into it. We'll now have the public hearing through the teleconference regarding off-sale intoxicating liquor license for the Boondock Bar and Grill, formerly known as the Woodland Inn. And at this time, I'll open the public hearing. We need a motion to open that, right, Jen?
Yes, that'd be fine.
Okay.
Move to open the hearing.
Got a motion by Commissioner McBride to open the hearing. Do I have a a second?
Oil second.
Got a second by Mrs. Story. Discussion. Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. Tablet.
Aye.
McBride.
Aye.
Obum.
Aye.
Story.
Aye.
And I'm an aye. Jen? You want to take it from here, Jen, or?
Oh, sure, I can. So basically, we're going to call if there's anybody on the line for public comments that has any comments regarding the request for the off-sale liquor license. Is there anybody on the line right now here for public comment?
Is the owner online, or would they like to make a comment?
Good morning. Yes, this is Desiree Arnold. Okay, so I've never been on one of these before, so
Not with a group like this.
Anything you'd like to tell us about the business, or?
well, currently we're looking to close next Tuesday. So we do have quite a bit of remodel in the works. It does need a little TLC out there. So what we're hoping for is to, redo the restaurant, the bar area, the bathrooms. We do have a little bit of kitchen work that we're looking to do. We'll get a new paint job. Eventually we're hoping to put in a camp site towards the back. Of course, that's, ideas as we're going. But that's hopefully something that we can consider doing, especially for the fall time out there. But as of right now, yeah, we were just trying to get all of our licenses in a group. We already got. I just got my kitchen management license to be out there. So yeah, everything is kind of in the flow right now. So.
Any idea what kind of a menu you plan on having, or?
Well, of course, with the COVID and the prices and some availability, I know everybody was asking if we were going to bring prime rib and the salad bar back. So we're hoping to eventually get to that point, but it'll just be the burgers, chicken, the wraps, the fries. We're hoping to do homemade pizzas. I guess we're trying to get towards some dinner menus on the weekends if we can eventually get to where we can get the salad bar and all that kind of thing running. But
okay.
Mr. Chair? May I ask a question here, please?
Yep, go ahead.
When are you planning on opening?
We were hoping to be open probably around the middle of August. We'd like to be open, for maybe a soft opening before we get to Labor Day. Was our hoping for that. So I know we have a furnace guy that'll be coming out next week because we got to pretty much tear the whole ceiling down. It needs some love. So we're hoping to be middle of August.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Well, this is way in accordance with my district. I give you all the credit in the world for taking that on. I mean, I think it's much needed, but what a lot of work, and can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It'll be a big project for sure. And I know, Kurt's eventually he says, slow down in the electrical business, so he's, looking at something else to do. But yeah, we're both full time, so already, so it'll be some work in progress. And we were sad actually too, because when we applied for it, we had heard that if it didn't sell, they were going to turn it into their house, and there'd be no more. And we thought, oh my gosh! But they did agree, and everything, obviously worked out. But yeah, that would have been a sad location to lose.
And for a lot of people, so like I say, thank you.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. I mean, I haven't met some of these people, but I've gotten messages just through Facebook from word of mouth, and people are so excited. Some of them I haven't even met yet, so in person.
Yeah, hunting season time, so.
For sure.
That's a good endeavor, so wish you luck.
Oh, thank you.
Any more questions or comments for them?
Mr. Chair, this is Jenny, and I just have one comment to make. We're still working through the license committee to get everything signed off on, and so we're not going to go ahead and ask for you to consider this license this week, but it will be on the agenda for next week, I'm assuming. So the purpose of this is just to get any public comment as required by the statute.
Yep. All right. Thank you.
Commissioner Adie, this is Betsy.
Okay, Betsy.
Hi there, and Jenny is correct. As we go through this public comment period today, we will then send everything around to the license committee, starting probably this afternoon. We should have all of that back by tomorrow. And then we will do the final prep work on everything, and we'll have it ready for the next Tuesday's board meeting, as Jenny said.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Betsy.
Yep, you're welcome.
Any more questions or comments?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
I was just, Commissioner McBride, I'd like to echo Commissioner Pavlik and welcome them to the community, and say a kind of a spot in the county that really needs that kind of service, and it'll be well received by the people around there and the sportsmen, and so welcome the community, and thank you for stepping forward.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Anyone else?
Move to adjourn.
Okay, I've got a motion by Commissioner McBride to adjourn the public hearing.
Second.
Got a second by Commissioner Pavlik. All in favor?
Aye. Wade.
Mr. Pavlik, okay. Commissioner McBride.
Aye.
Mr. Sobel.
Aye.
Mrs. Skoy.
Aye.
And I'm an aye. And at this time, is there any public comment for the regular board meeting? Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Mr. Chair?
What's that?
I'll second the motion, but I do have a question.
How about if you make a motion? How about if you make the first?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, I've got a motion by Commissioner Skoy to adjourn.
Second.
Who's that? Is that Sobel?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, I've got a second by Commissioner Sobel. Wayne, did you have a question?
Yeah, as far as the scheduling, the 5th Tuesday this month, we're not going to schedule a meeting, is that correct?
Ben?
I do not have it on the schedule right now. We usually meet just on the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays of the month, but because of the COVID, we've been meeting weekly. I'm not planning on having a meeting and keeping the regular schedule as is for the month of July, but if something comes up and we need to meet more often, we can always schedule that meeting if need be. We've got a couple meetings before the end of that, before the 5th Tuesday. As of right now, there's no meeting on the 5th Tuesday.
Okay, thank you, Ben.
And the July schedule is going to remain the same, with a meeting on July 14th and July 28th and 4th Tuesday. Now, if something comes up and we need to meet more often, we can certainly do that.
Okay, thank you, Ben. Okay, I'll call for the vote on the adjournment. Mr. Pavlik.